Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to be doing a complete reinstall of Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as all of my add-ons, both payware and freeware, some scenery adjustments, AddonsLinker, you name it. We're going to be talking about all the tools that I use. There will be chapters or chapter links down the description below, as well as if you mouse over the time bar, you'll be able to jump to a specific section if there's anything you're interested in. Everything will be configured from scratch. I'm not bringing anything over. I'm doing a complete, fresh, brand new installation and brand new downloads of all of my mods and add-ons that I use. So this is going to be a long video. So I highly recommend that you guys check out the description below, find the chapters that you guys are interested in, and then, hopefully you guys all find a little bit of this useful. So without further delay, let's go ahead and get started. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkill's tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. All right, so for this first section, obviously, just so anybody who may not know, and let's make this very clear right off the bat, I got my purchase from the Microsoft Store. This is not a Steam installation or any other form. I'm using the store to do my installation. So obviously, you download it from the store initially, then you launch the executable, and it brings you to here. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is change the packages folder. Never leave it as the default, because by default, you don't have permission to this directory that it's installed in. So when you want to make changes or anything like that, you can't get to it, and it's really frustrating. So, you just have to jump through hoops to do so. Obviously, it can be done. So let's go ahead and change the directory. I don't want it here, so we're going to go to Browse. All right, so as I was recording this section, or replaying this section, it dawned on me that I was on application capture and I was not on display capture, so you couldn't see what I was doing right here. So I do want to show you guys real quick here, and then we'll go back to the next part of the video. If we bring our folder over here, what I did is I went to this gamings folder, created this Microsoft Flight Simulator folder, and created this packages folder. And then I pointed the data folder or the packages directory that we were just playing with, where you hit browse. I selected this folder, then hit update. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I did catch that. Anyway, so this is what I did. And that way, when it installs, you get your own custom directory. So we'll wait for the, as you can see, we got updates going on in the background from the content manager. Once those are done, we'll continue on forward. Let it do its update. Okay, and you can see right there, B Gaming Microsoft Flight Simulator, all set. So now, obviously, we're just going to hit update. 94.9 gigs to go. It does download actually a lot faster than it used to, which is kind of nice. But at this point, guys, I will see you when we're done with the initial installation. So we'll talk to you in a few. All right, my friends. So now we have, obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator installed. So before I do anything else, the next step, unfortunately, is more installation. We're going to go to Profile, Content Manager, Not Installed, and let's say here, Select All, and Download. And I will see you guys when it's done. You know, I actually got to thinking we can actually keep going here while we're waiting for the updates to complete. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start, because after the content manager, I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see it, but after the content manager is done installing here, we will restart Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's the same thing as when you restart or install any application. It's good to do a restart, let everything refresh and sync in, right? And then from there, we'll close it back down, and we're going to start doing our mods and add-ons and applications. So we can start doing some of that now, okay? So how I'm going to prepare for that is I'm going to go back to this Microsoft Flight Simulators page, make sure that we're in here where it has the packages, and we're going to create 2 new folders. First one is going to be applications. So these are going to be any third-party applications that are running in the background, whether it be things like SkyDolly or Flight Recorder or anything that's third-party to the software. It's not actually a part of the sim, but we use it as a part of it, right? Then what we're going to do is our mods. All right, now mods are going to be a little bit different. Well, here, you know what? Let's just call this add-ons because I don't know that mods is actually necessarily a full thing there. So we're going to go to add-ons, and this is the folder that we're going to have AddonsLinker pointed at, and you guys are going to get to see that today. You're going to get to see me set up AddonsLinker for the first time. Again, I'm not bringing anything over. We're doing everything from scratch. So how I like to do it is I'm going to create quite a few folders here. So we got aircraft. Now this is going to be any actual aircraft, whether it's an aircraft modification or a complete new additional aircraft to the simulator. Okay. And then we're going to do, let's see here, avionics. These are going to be our things like the G3000, G1000, etc. The GTN 750. All right, obviously scenery. Okay, and then I'm also going to do another one called scenery enhancements, because these can sometimes be two different things. There are certain like taxiways and things like that, right? There are certain textures that can be global, right, that are going to affect everywhere, and you don't want to try to narrow those down. Yeah, so let's keep on going here. So we got aircraft, avionics, scenery, and scenery enhancements. Let's see here. I'm also going to put in a how do I want to do this? I'm thinking about things like NeoFly, but I guess that actually goes in the applications folder. So we have aircraft, we have avionics, we have scenery enhancements. Oh, here we go. Let's go tools. All right, so this is going to be like your Shift Z stats, toolbar pushback helper, whatever it may be. Things that have to be installed in the sim but run, in the background or whatever. Not necessarily specific to an airplane. And I think that's it for right now. But we can certainly get that nice and running right now and get it prepared for our installation when it finishes. Now, I'm not going to start doing any downloads or anything like that at this time. We just wanted to get the directories going. And it's just because I don't want to take up any bandwidth. And I have seen in the past where Microsoft Flight Simulator gets really pissy when something else is downloading while it's trying to. Go figure, right? So anyway, I'll catch you guys now once this is complete. All right, so the downloads are now complete. There's nothing left in not installed. So at this point, we got nothing in updates. So we're going to go back, and I'm just going to quit the desktop, restart the simulator, and then I'm going to quit again. This has my attention right here. I don't know why the marketplace is blacked out, but we'll see what happens. So I'll catch you guys, assuming everything goes well. If anything doesn't go well, I'll record that as well. All right, so everything went well. The marketplace reappeared here, so we're going to quit the desktop. And we're going to start getting some of this show rolling here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is come over here to my handy dandy Googler, go to my bookmark, and I'm going to find the AddonsLinker. That's the first one. Actually, there's two of them I'm going to find. It's both of these. So first, the AddonsLinker. Oh, let me clear that filter for you guys. This is on flightsim.to's website. I'll be sure to leave a link for it in the description below. I'm not going to leave a link to every single mod that I'm going to install today, but I will try to keep track of them as best I can, and I'll be posting a full list this week on Patreon if you guys are interested. And if my Patreon subscribers, you'll have that as well. So anyway, we're going to download this, and of course you have to wait. But let's open up another one while we're waiting, and let's go to add-on tools again and go to the community downloader. This is another really handy application. And let's scroll down and hit that download button again. Oh, I hate that it's doing it. It's timing both on the same timer. That's lame. All right, whatever. All right, so start download there. Still got a little bit ahead, I guess. And start the download there. And let me double check if there's anything else that's crucial right now. We're going to get to all of these. Well, a lot of these, not all of them, but definitely quite a few. All right, see here, no handlebar. That's a really big one. Takes care of that little triangle, upside down triangle right there called the handlebar. Makes the screenshots much cleaner. I hate waiting for these timers. And again, these first few I'll definitely have a link to in the description. So add-on tools. Shift Z stats. This is a really handy one, especially right after an installation. Really big one. I'm going to show you guys what that one does. It's really, really handy. It gives you anything from frame rate, wind direction, airspeed, you name it. Really gives you a lot of information simply by tapping Shift and Z. Really handy. Really, really handy. All right, these are all here. We can close these guys out. Oh, I don't know if I want to close that one. It didn't look like download. No handlebar, community, AddonsLinker, Shift Z. Okay. And let's go to another one here. Add-on tools. There's a couple more. Toolbar pushback. Obviously fantastic one. Control the pushback even using your rudder pedals. There's some voice activation now. Okay. All right, so we got quite a few here. Let's keep on going. I say we're going to grab a bunch of add-ons, and I'm going to show you guys my primary add-ons is what we're doing right here. These are the biggest ones that like I would not want to be without. Everything else is sort of fluff. Things that I like. Sky Dolly, I really enjoy this. If you guys like to record your flights, this is fantastic. It totally works with SU6. Although he hasn't done anything with it in a while. I really hope that... what do you mean? I was logged in. Why you gotta be like that, man? At least I thought I was. Alright, let's come back in here. Download. Here we go. Wait that 12 seconds again. Okay. And again, guys, don't forget, there are chapters down in the description. If you guys want to skip ahead, feel free. No, not worried about any of those. I don't use much of them anymore. All right, so aircraft, this is where things get a little different. I think I will do my aircraft in a separate list. I'll try to remember to put in a separate section because I don't even fly necessarily all of these anymore. But that's a whole nother bag of worms is the aircraft. So there are a couple sceneries that are critical for me, obviously. KTUS, gotta have it. You guys know how much I fly out of Tucson. So we're gonna let that download. Okay. And let's see here. The reason why I want to make sure, so I always test in Tucson, and the reason why is it's my hometown. It's where I fly out of, right? I do almost all of my reviews of new aircraft out of Tucson. You know, it's an area that I know, obviously, and I just enjoy it. I mean, for me, it's totally fun. You know, doing repetitive flights over my hometown. I absolutely love it. And I recommend you guys do the same. You know, pick the spots when you're first starting out because, you know, the next video is going to be FPS, right? We're going to go back into dialing my graphics in and all that. And so I will tell you that KTUS scenery takes a pounding. It really does. Let's see here. I'm just looking for somewhere that I would probably fly to. But, well, Chandler Municipal. That's a good one. We'll use that one. That's another good one. And it's in the Phoenix area, so... lots of scenery, lots of things going on around it. Bahama Scenery Mega Pack. This is a really good one, but this is probably one of my favorites right here. I'm not going to show you guys all my scenery. That's why I'm being picky. But this is a really nice one for Princess Juliana. If you guys like flying there, it's a really fun approach. That's when we get to scrape that fence line and blast all the people off of the fence. Always good times there. Okay. And let's see here. I think we'll do one more for scenery for now. Like I said, there's tons more to come. And let's see here. There was another one. Oh, global AI ship traffic. Let's drop that one in there. That's a good one too. Oh, we're on version 2. Been a while since I've downloaded it. Oh, yeah, totally. All right, so let's download that. And we have a bunch of things coming this week, guys, so I'm really glad I got this done. We have the Turtle Beach flight controls are on their way for review. They were kind enough to reach out to me and ask if I'd be willing to do a review of them, so absolutely get to check those out. We have the FSX Solo flight simulation intercoms here. It's sitting on my desk. That's what you hear knocking right there. And what that allows you to do is take real-world aircraft headsets and use them with your computer. Now, that may sound silly to some, but for me, I think it's kind of cool. And I've got some really expensive ones sitting up in the closet, so, it'd be kind of nice to get them used. So anyway, let's see here. I think that's where we're going to stop for now. The events I'm not going to worry about. Oh, that is such a fun track. We'll definitely get all that back in. I've got some stuff, immersion add-ons, add-on tools. I think we got everything I need there. Okay, let's see here. Oh, the PMS5 GTN 750. Okay. That's actually a really good idea. You know what? I kind of wanted to check out that modern UI one too. Where was that? Maybe we'll check this out while we're at it, because this looks kind of cool. So he just takes the UI and he enhanced it, cleaned it up quite a bit. Thought it might be kind of fun to check that out, but maybe we'll do that in a separate video. Let's see what the installation looks like real quick, and then we'll decide how we're going to go forward with this one. I don't see where his installation instruction is. All right, maybe we'll check that out at a different time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, we're just waiting for this guy to finish right here. What is that? Oh, that's the World AI ships. So as soon as that guy's done, we'll keep on moving down the road here. All right, so our next step here is we need to organize all of our downloads and all of our apps. Okay, now this can get a little tedious, but I highly recommend that you guys follow a similar process, because as you get more and more sceneries, more and more add-ons, more and more aircraft and liveries. That's what I forgot. I knew I was missing one. Aircraft liveries. I might still be missing one. And we won't worry about liveries today. It's installed in the same process. But so I want to show you guys how this all works. GVC setup. What is that? What time was that downloaded? Oh, never mind. That's for me. Disregard. Let's go ahead and kill that. There we go. All right. So I highly recommend you guys get 7-zip. It works freaking awesome. So what you can do is go 7-zip extract to, and what this means is going to extract to a copy of its folder name. So we're just going to let this extraction take place. This might take a couple seconds here. I'll get you guys when it's back. All right, so that's done. So I'm just going to click up here again. So these zips are highlighted, hit delete, boom, those are gone. All right, so now everything's extracted to its own folder. And you know what? I'm going to kick one more of these open. And we're going to go to our Microsoft Flight Simulator directory and open up our applications folder, because we're going to need that. We're in the add-ons folder here. So first thing we have is Ambitious Pilots Shift-Z Stats. All right, so this is the directory. Remember, as before, for those of you who are unfamiliar with modding, this is a perfect time for you to learn. So here's the zip title. This is the add-on title. And this is the mod itself. So you always want to go back one more before all of this. You don't want to copy all this nonsense over here. You want the folder right before. So we want this one here. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to go to Tools, and I'm just going to drop it in. Okay, And we're just going to rinse and repeat with everything. Now, once I get it in there, I like to just get it out of my way. So we're going to delete it. Just helps to follow everything. I'm just going to sort of keep on going with that same process. Again, there's the title. There's the mod. We don't want that. We want just the one before. Drop that in. Okay, get rid of it. All right, same thing with our scenery. Let's come over here. Scenery. Now, again, I highly recommend you guys break this down. And you could even go further than that. Let's actually do one more level here, and let's call this United States. Oops. Grab this guy and put it in here. And that's the nice thing about AddonsLinker is you can go pretty much as deep as you want as far as the folder structure. So again, there's the mod, there's the title. That's the last time I'm going to show that. So if you guys are into trouble, please back up and check that out. All right, so delete that. And then this one here, this is that's the ship AI. So this is another one of those ones I was talking about earlier, where it's a scenery enhancement, right? I'm going to call it, because this is a global effect. This is anywhere where there's ships and harbors and things. And again, oh, that was an accident. So you got another example. Drag that folder over. Okay, this one's going to take a minute. All right, so I'll catch you guys. 8 gigs. Wow, that's a big add-on. Damn. So I'll catch you guys when this is done, because I don't want to keep moving while it's doing it. I don't want to be copying into the same directories while it's in access. All right, so that one's done. Let's keep on moving. Again, get that out of there. Now this one here, let that finish out. I'll just move that off screen. I don't mind just deleting it. Okay, and so this one here, this is Chandler in Phoenix. There we go, Phoenix Airport, Chandler. So that's nice. It's titled very, very nicely. If it's ever not titled like this and you're just ICAO, unless you are really, really good with your ICAO codes, I recommend titling the folder something that you will definitely recognize. You know, like this one, obviously KTUS Tucson. I'm not going to miss that. But like if it was just KCHD, I wouldn't remember that off the top of my head. So it's really nice when it shows this Phoenix Airport Chandler, you know, and I could even change it just to Chandler if I wanted, but that works just as it is. All right, let me make sure I grab that. Yep. Okay. And we'll get rid of that one. No handlebar. This is going to be another tool. And let's see, that's the community downloader. So this is going to be an application. And there it is right there. So what I like to do here, because it's just the exe, you don't have to put it in a folder. This is totally up to you. I just like keeping things as clean as possible. MSFS, I'm going to leave it as it is there. Community downloader. And we're just going to drop this guy right in here. And we're going to come back to this in just a second. We're going to need that before we use the AddonsLinker, and I'm going to show you why. There's that. Sky Dolly, same thing. That one, it's got its version name and title in it, so drop that into the applications folder. Oops, wrong one. Cut. Let's go back, paste it in there. There we go. We wanted it on the applications directory. We didn't want it inside the community downloader folder. All right, St. Martin, Princess Juliana there. So this is going to go back to add-ons. Oops. Scenery and Caribbean. Let's see if I can get it right with you guys on the watch here. I always spell Caribbean wrong. I always spell it wrong. It's like one of those words that has haunted me since high school. It's funny as hell. But anyway, I know TNCM, so I don't mind that. But again, if you didn't recognize that, make sure you retitle. You can retitle this folder to anything you want. Okay, the sim doesn't care what this folder is titled. That's strictly for your benefit. Okay, so we can just do delete here. And there she is, the AddonsLinker. Boom. Now, notice, this is crazy. So this is a perfect example where I am going to rename it. So I'm just going to call it MSFS Addons. Oops. Linker. Okay. Just keep it nice and clean, just like the rest in here. The certain applications I'll leave the version number on, and certain ones I won't. It really just depends. Okay. So let's just say that we've downloaded everything that I use as far as mods and add-ons from flysim.to or whatever, and now we're ready to start configuring it for the sim. So let's get on to that. Okay, so our next step here is we're going to now start almost getting everything ready to actually get into the sim. We're going to use AddonsLinker to control just about every single add-on that we have, even when we get to the Payware, as much as we can. The Payware gets a little bit trickier. But what we're going to do is use Microsoft Community Downloader to manage quite a few of our add-ons and keep them up to date. Now, there is a restriction that I have recently discovered with this. This is actually my second time recording this portion, and that is it has a directory limit. It has a character limit in it, so we do have to keep that in mind. But, so we can get around that. That's totally fine. Well, we'll just manage to deal with this, what we're going to do. But we're going to go to Community Downloader. Let's launch it. And this is really awesome. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. This is really awesome because it can control all of these here. Okay, and it's actually got a few others. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is come down here to this little menu down here. And this is where we can set all of the directories to where these aircraft install. Now, you can see again, I tried to do before, which is having them go into a specific directory for their aircraft title. But like I said, I think it has a character limit because it won't let me. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our lives... Actually, you know what? Let's try something. Let me try something. I'm actually going to come back here. I can rename this. There's no harm in that. And let's go MSFS. Never mind. I can't do that. Disregard that. I can't do that because I had the packages installed here. So that would change where Microsoft Flight Simulator thinks the package directory is, so we can't change that. Never mind. Disregard. So, good to know. Little tip for you guys there. Once you install your packages here, you cannot change any of the parent directories above it. Okay? Otherwise, you'll have to go through the update process again, and that sucks. Okay, so it is what it is. So in that case, let's go back to add-ons. We're going to go to aircraft, and that's what we're going to point all of these to. So we're going to go to select folder here, and we're going to go to our games. We're going to go to gaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator, add-ons, aircraft, select that folder. And we're going to do this for everything. You can see this is, I've already done this for the avionics, for these. And these are also already set to the aircraft directory as well. You can hit this red circle here if you don't want these options to show up at all. I don't use the stable version of Flybywire. I use the development version. And then I don't use the Asgari Airlines as well. All right, so once you've selected what you actually want to have installed, we're done with this portion here. And again, you guys saw at the beginning, you just hit select folder, find the directory that you want, and move on. Now, please keep in mind, like I said, I'm pretty positive this has a restriction. So like, I'm gonna go back here again. I don't know why it's not aircraft. Select, that's not changing. So I'm gonna close this for a second, and we're gonna see where this installs. It should drop it right in here. So we're just gonna hit install, and boom, there it is. Interesting. It created the CJ4 folder in there, but yet the others wouldn't let me. Huh. All right. Well, that's fine. All right. So we got our G1000, G3000, G3X, the 787. There's the 747 from Salty, the G36, the JP Logistics Cessna 152, and the PMS 50 GNS 530. Now, the 152 is going to take a minute. It always does. And we'll just go ahead and let that finish up. All right, so I actually had to close the app and then start this download again. So we're going to see if this goes through this time. We're looking for it to say extracting. Once it says extracting, we know that we're good to go. But there it goes. Okay. So I may have just got a little click happy there and didn't like that. So we'll let it finish there. Okay. Now, the reason why I wanted to create folders like this, where it was like CJ4, is to keep everything alphabetized, right? Keep everything in a nice, sweet order. If you change the name of any of these, this program will no longer recognize that these are there. It will tell you that they're not installed. So once these are installed, you have to leave them as is. Okay, that is the one drawback to that for the moment. But still a fantastic piece of software. And now we're able to move forward to AddonsLinker. So let's go ahead and jump after that. All right, so now to do AddonsLinker, we're going to go back to our applications, go to AddonsLinker here, and we're just going to find this guy here. Now, the first time you do it, I highly recommend that you do this. Go to Properties, go to Compatibility, and tell it to run this program as an administrator. It is required in order to do so because it modifies the community folder, and oftentimes community folder in its default default location requires administrator access. So I do recommend that. And it will tell you when you launch it. So this program requires, administrator access. Now, the other thing I like to do with this particular one, because I use it very frequently, is we will go to pin to taskbar. Okay, and so now you can see it down here. Okay, and so with that in mind, let's go ahead and launch it for the first time. Now, the one thing I'm going to give you guys the heads up on right away is this program is capable of so much more than what I use it for. I'm a simpleton when it comes to stuff. I just like being able to turn things on and off, and I like being able to manage things on my own. So I will tell you that this program is, again, capable of so much more than what I use it for. You know, you can select multiple add-ons folders. You can select multiple directories for it to install in. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So it really is an awesome thing. So first, we're going to add our add-ons folder. Right, so we're going to go here, we're going to go to this PC, go to apps and games, gaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator, add-ons. Just stop right there. Okay, boom. Then, once the Microsoft Flight Simulator community folder, so let's find that. Again, it's going to be right around the same place, packages and community. So again, gaming, Microsoft Flight Simulator packages, community, hit OK. Okay, preset folder. This is just where do you want it to store its presets. If you again, you guys can save presets. I'm not going to go into depth on that. It's exactly what it sounds like. You know, you can create custom presets and simple click, install certain ones, uninstalls others, etc. I don't use it like that. You know, I just sort of pick and choose as I go. It has to do with the way I do my content. Let's see here. There's a couple other options that I do like here. So let's see here. I'm just horizontal mode, disable MSF running warning, auto close linker after sim launch. Disable run as admin check when the application starts. Again, what we just did does that as well. I think it's only the first time that you have to run it as an administrator. So after that, you can disable it, but it's totally up to you. Let's see here. I don't need any of these. So let's go up to additional options. Enable dark mode. Definitely want that. Okay. And boom. Oops. I didn't mean to hit OK. Oh, yes, I did. There it goes. All right. And there we are. So from here, here's all of our aircraft. Now I can click these one by one, or I can just do that and it installs everything beneath it. Aircraft liveries, we don't have anything yet. Avionics. I do like the NXI, so I'm not going to worry about the 1000. However, I definitely want the G1000. I want the GX. The 530 we're going to leave out for now. I don't use it very often, actually. United States, my scenery. Okay, if let's say I had multiple states like you guys saw on my list on the webpage. Let's say I had multiple states, but I just want, excuse me, Arizona today. Let's just do Arizona today. Scenery enhancements. Okay, we have that one there as well. The Caribbean, we will check out TNCM so we can test out our boats and stuff. And then all of these tools, I want all of them, so I'm going to click on that. But if I wanted to remove any of these, let's say I had a problem with the 787, I could just come in here, unclick it. Red means it's not installed. Green means it is. All right, and that is it. AddonsLinker is set up, and you can, again, it's all based on your file structure here and how you want to organize these, and that's why I highly recommend that you dive in deep when you're organizing them, especially your scenery. Scenery can get so intense so fast, especially if you're someone who likes to fly all over the world. Definitely take the time. It's tedious. It's a pain in the butt. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's absolutely worth it in the end, especially when it comes to the troubleshooting aspect of things, right? Okay, so next step here is the only other thing that I have left to worry about is my Payware add-ons. So I will show you guys most of the Payware add-ons I use and software, and then we'll launch the simulator. All right, so first on the Payware, the things that I'm definitely going to recommend here. This is from Just Flight. I do most of my purchases from here, but we're definitely going to want the Hawk T1. It's an absolutely fantastic aircraft. I highly recommend that. So let's grab that one. Back up here. F14, it was all right. It was definitely better than the 15, but I'm not actually going to install it. Rex Global Airport Textures, I love that one. It's a great product. They did a really good job with that one. Obviously, the P28, we definitely want that. And that was the turbo. This is the regular. All right, and now I've got a few over at Sim Market, I believe that I need, so we'll switch over there. All right. So a lot of these are actually from back in the X-Plane days. I'm not going to click on each one and bore you guys to death with it, but I do want to talk about these. The EMB 200, I actually enjoy that. It's a pretty fun little airplane. The K. Jackson Hole Airport. This is a beautiful airport scenery. Now, this one was gifted to me by the developers. I'm very, very grateful for it. Really, really pretty location, though, if you guys ever want to just go and chill. Isolated out in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. Really, really gorgeous scenery. The Got Friends GBR3, absolutely, definitely a must. The Wirebird simulations, this is the helicopter tours. These were really cool. I had a really good time with these. I definitely recommend them as well. And then the Project Coastline. These are, again, very fantastically done scenery. I really, really enjoyed these. Let's see here. The EMB 110, again, fun little plane. The graphics, they're okay, but it's definitely a fun aircraft. I absolutely enjoy it. We're going to try this one again, the TNCM from Airworthy Designs. This was a beautiful version. I know you guys saw me download the free version earlier, but this was a very, very well done version. But I think it was Sim Update 4 or 5 broke it. And so we'll give it a test and see if it's been fixed. If not, we'll have to send it packing down the highway here. And then FSUI PC7, if that's a whole different bag of worms. That's a third-party application. It's used for integrating third-party controls with the simulator. Very, very handy. Very, very great aircraft, but totally up to you guys. Xinertech Airport graphics for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I would say Rex does a better job, so unfortunately I'm going to say this one's probably been scrapped for me. The Beechcraft Model 99, absolutely was disappointed in that one. Really regretted that one, unfortunately. Flight Control Replay, we're going to be doing a review of its latest version, so actually I'll go ahead and grab that now while I'm here. While I'm thinking about it. And let's see here. I think that is pretty much it for Sim Market. So I'll get all these installed or downloaded, and then we'll talk later. All right, so I wanted to show you guys real quick too. As I'm going through the Payware stuff, and there's still plenty more missing, unfortunately, but a lot of them give you the option to choose the directory. At that point, I'm going to, again, just like we did before, change it to our add-ons directory that we created before. Go to Scenery. This is Caribbean. This is that Princess Juliana one that we had. So we're going to try that one out as well. But I will change it. And that way, again, only AddonsLinker controls it. And again, it makes it real easy when you need to remove and add it. So I just wanted to show you guys as well that even with your Payware stuff, it will default to the community folder. But if it gives you the option to change the installation, there are a few that don't. But if it gives you the option, make sure that you definitely change it over to a directory that you can control. That way you can control when it's in the simulator. All right? All right, guys. So the last step for me here, well, not the last, but the last one in this recording is going to be the A32NX. For those of you who do not fly with this yet, guys, I highly recommend it. If you enjoy flying the A320, grab this one because it makes the experience so much better. They have their own documentation. I have the A320 guide available on my Patreon site if you guys are interested in. It's a full flight tutorial guide. It's just like all my guides. Anyway, make sure you guys check this out because it's really awesome, especially with the installer. So we're going to download the installer. This thing is fantastic. Allows you to switch between the 3 different versions as you choose. All right. So now we're going to go to our downloads directory, and it's just flybywiresim.com, by the way. Very easy to get to. Very easy to get to. I do recommend the P6 from Milviz as well as the FG1D Corsair. Both absolutely awesome aircraft, but we've got those set up already. All right. So we're going to execute this guy. Let it do its thing. You see it puts a shortcut up. I hate shortcuts. We're just going to delete that. Okay. And so now, right meow. Actually, you know what I need to do? I just realized that. Where did it put that? Hang on a second. Let's go to more. Open file location. Where did it install it? Start menu. Oh, that's where that is. Duh. All right. What about you? Oh, not open archive. I just want to find out where it installed it by default. Oh, it's an app data. All right, fair enough. Okay, so it is nice because it does create its own start menu program. So let's bring that over here for a second. Do this right here. I'm just going to pin this to the start menu. You can pin it down to your taskbar if you want, but I typically run the update each time before I know I'm going to fly the Flybywire A320, and that's only because I use the development version. So we're just going to do this. We're going to go to development. Now, before I do that, because I actually don't want it to put it into the community folder, which it will do by default. It finds it for you. So we're going to separate that. You can see right there. It already found it. Gaming Microsoft Flight Simulator Packages and Community. We don't want it to do that. So we're going to come over here. And again, this is just so I can control everything that's installed on the sim as much as possible. Add-ons, aircraft, and that's where we're going to put it. Select folder. You can see it adjusted. Let's go back to our main page. As I said, I like the development version. Install. All right, and at this point, it will finish up. It'll install it into our directory. Once that's complete, we'll use our AddonsLinker. We'll refresh the add-ons. You can see there's already a couple changes that we need to make to it, but we'll let this finish here real quick. And then that will be it for this segment. Now, I still have things to set up like spad.next for my controls. I use that third-party application. I already have a couple of videos. You guys can just click on the videos tab on my channel, search for SPAD, and you'll find a couple of them on how to set that up if you guys are interested. I do highly recommend that. It offers far more customization, ease of use. It automatically switches between profiles based on the aircraft you're flying once you have assigned an aircraft to that particular profile. Again, my videos go through all this. Let's go ahead and refresh. And let's see what aircraft. So the 787 I'm leaving uninstalled for right now. But there's our Flybywire. The Got Friends GB3. Highly recommend that. The Milviz Corsair, as I said. Now, there are certain aircraft that I have installed that I don't have control over as far as where they install. Like, for example, the P6 from Milviz didn't give me the option to do a manual install where the Corsair did. So some third-party applications, whether it be scenery, aircraft, avionics, it really depends on the developer and how they create their installer. Sometimes they'll create the installer that will give you the option to change the directory, and sometimes they just have it auto search for the community folder, and that's that. Okay. But that's basically it, guys. So that is my installation complete from start to finish, basically how I do things. Now, again, I have scenery and things like that that obviously I will be adding back in over time. But that is the basis of how I do my installation from start to finish. That's how I manage my add-ons. Payware, freeware, doesn't matter. I hope that this has been helpful to some of you. If anything, at least you got to hear my beautiful voice for a minute. All right. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one, in which we will be going over performance